All right, go ahead and start. Questions for Coach.
Just your impressions of your first day out there.
Like most first days, right? You think you've made a lot of gains because of the walkthroughs they've allowed now. You know, a certain number of hours you get during the week over the course of summer, and you're never as far along as you want to be. So it's good to get out there and start coaching football again. And obviously, the season's right around the corner. We got a long way to go.
Your design of the practice to go in the morning practices, with that weather in mind, or classes or things like that?
Well, I'm gonna take credit. We just got off the field with lightning right now, so yeah, I think it was a good idea to get it in the morning. But no, I mean, that was last year. We got sent inside Palmero quite a few times, and it's frustrating as a coach having to break your practice up and transition because afternoon storms. So hopefully this schedule will be beneficial to us.
Obviously, it's the first day, and like you said, it was a typical first day. But on the offensive side of the ball, how much retention did you see from the older guys carrying over from the spring?
I mean, coming off the field, not having had the benefit of watching film, I mean, I think we have a general understanding of the schemes, inside zone, outside zone, the play actions off of it, properly targeting the looks that the defense gives and how that affects your technique. I would guess we'd like to be further along with that. Some of that might be because what we do defensively changes some things from maybe more traditional looks, but that's why it's a good thing they don't limit your hours in training camp time, right? Once school starts, you're 20 hours a week, max 4 hours a day. It's a good thing training camp, you're unlimited time. We need every second of it.
What is it like to have a veteran like Jet Johnson back at practice?
It's better than the alternative. Yeah, him and Buki back, kind of leading the defense. That's good. We got to get everyone else around them playing like veterans.
You made a decision to go back to the South Farm. That's kind of a legendary place here at Mississippi State. What was kind of the thought process behind having some practices out there?
Yeah, obviously had an opportunity to talk to a lot of former players, over the last 8 months, and it's interesting when you hear former players talk about what they remember most. And they never seem to talk about the light, easy days, right? You're always most proud of those grueling, tough camp days that you had to get through, and that's kind of how you forge and mold the team. And so South Farm has been a big part of that here in the history of this school, and I think it's kind of a rite of passage. It should be required of every player to come through this program.
Is there anyone specifically on offense that you're hoping makes the most sizable jump of anyone else on the unit in terms of kind of improvement in production for what you're hoping to see?
I think we got 51 or 2 guys on the roster right now. You bring 110 to 15 to camp, so I can rip off all 52 names if you want, but we all need to get better on both sides of the ball. Every unit, everyone needs to improve. We're not even close to ready to play a football game right now.
You said at media days that there was somewhat of an open competition in the secondary. We saw DeCarlos make a couple plays late in practice. What have you just seen from him, from transition from the spring into this first practice?
I mean, the reason we recruited him, why he was so highly recruited out of junior college, obviously for a cornerback to have his speed, his length, that should help you in coverage. There's a lot more to the game of football and playing corner than just covering guys on deep bells, right? You got to be able to cloud up, be physical, show up in the run game. And so he's got all the ability, and obviously it's an open competition, like you said.
I know Cole Smith has come along center for you. Just what do you like about him? What is he giving you?
Yeah, Cole's a football player, right? You kind of, to play interior offensive line, you kind of got to have some grittiness to you, some toughness and nasty, and he kind of shows that. We got several guys who do, and so he's doing a nice job in there.
It's always dangerous to judge a freshman after just one day, a short day, but Isaac Smith looks like a kid who's ready to play right now.
I agree with you. It's way too early to judge a freshman after the first day.
What kind of excites you the most about this offense? Because you talked about Barban when you brought him in, the fact that he's going to use the personnel the best way to help the football team win. Is there anything else that overly kind of excites you about this offense as you all work towards getting ready for the season?
Not until we put pads on. I can't answer that. I mean, this is not football, right? I mean, obviously, report day, all you do is talk. Head coach gives a speech, both coordinators give speeches their side of the ball. All you do is talk. We're going to be this, we're going to be that, and it's all just a bunch of empty words, right? And the first 2 days are kind of the same thing. You're going over assignments, you're talking about fundamentals, but obviously we don't have pads on, right? No one's hitting. We had some ball security issues today that obviously have to get eliminated. Nothing excites me about anything we do, not just offense, defense, special. Nothing excites me until we actually start seeing guys play actual football, right? And that's not trying to sound like some tough coach speak or whatever. It's just the truth. I mean, it's just the truth. This is not football. So we get pads on and we get into it, and we got to find out who the football players are. This is, I believe it's acclimatization period, right? We're getting the players actually ready for football. That's the spirit of these first 6 days.
You got an older offensive line anyway, but Cam Jones had off-season surgery or had postseason surgery after getting hurt and missed all the spring, but he's back now. How much does that help with the offensive line getting that leadership and experience back?
Getting Cam back? Yeah, I think Cam has started or played in something like 30-something career games. I mean, that experience obviously is huge, right? I mean, there's nothing like having a battle-tested guy who knows the physical strain that you're going to encounter week in and week out in this league. So yes, to get that experience back is an added boost to our offensive line, no doubt.
How do you instill toughness? So you talk about going to the South Farm and kind of putting the pads on, but I know you want to recruit toughness, but when you get a guy that maybe needs to be refined a little bit, how do you do that?
I think other players have a lot better way of accomplishing it than coaches, right? I mean, we can script practice, we can come up with drills and periods to do, but simply put, if they're not going up against other tough football players, you're not going to improve the toughness in your football team, right? So we got some tough guys in this program. School always has. We need those guys to set the standard and bring along the guys who aren't yet to the standard. It's always going to be a lot more beneficial if the players are leading that charge than if coaches are. And you're going to get a lot more return on your investment that way.
Anything else?
Hail State. Hail State.